Hello and welcome to my first video using my voice, and I will be making a Clash Royale video tier list. First is the Knight. I put him in good tier because he's an okay card, not too bad, not too great, and he's very good defensively, especially in hog decks. Archers, not bad card, very good defensive card, can be pretty good when you split them in the back, etc. Next up is Goblins. Goblins are an okay card. I prefer like skeletons. They basically do the same job, but they are pretty good. They survive zap, snowball, so I put them in average. Next up is Giant, which isn't a bad tank. It's not the best. 5 elixir, pretty good, cheap, but I put it in average tier because not the greatest tank, I think. It's okay though. And next up is P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A's an okay card. I feel like it can be countered pretty easily with swarm cards, skeletons, cycle cards, and like plus you just put any range card with that and the P.E.K.K.A's just gone. It can be pretty good with pushes though. I wouldn't say it's the best card ever though. So it's going in average tier. Next up is Minions. Minions are also an okay card, something I don't use very much, but they're very good defensive. They can survive small spells like Zap, Snowball, and they can do a truckload of damage to tanks and mini tanks. They're very annoying to try and kill off and to defend, I feel like. Next up is Balloon. It should be moving in a second. And I put Balloon in pretty good too, I think. Balloon isn't a bad card. You need air cards obviously to defend it, and it's pretty tanky, especially if you have something with it. Can make for a pretty hard push to stop. Witch is not that good of a card. I do not like Witch very much. I put her in under average tier. I'm ranking the evolution separately, so Witch by itself not that great of a card. Can be countered very easily. Same with Barbs. Skeletons are a very good defensive card, I feel like. Quick cycle, good defense against princes, etc. Valkyrie's a pretty good card too. Can take out a lot of swarm and witch and barbs and etc. like that. Skelly Army is not a good card. It can be countered very easily with splash or spells. So I put that in bad tier. Bomber. Yeah, Bomber's not that great of a card. It can be pretty good to clear out swarms, but there's much better options, I feel like. Musketeer is a pretty good card. Very tanky, can survive a lot of spells at the right level, of course. And very good in hog decks. Baby Dragon is it's not that great of a card. I feel like it's not bad, but it can be countered pretty easily, I feel like. And there's much better options on it, I think, but I put an average too, I think, after this, because it's pretty tanky. Its health isn't that bad. Prince is very busted still. The half a tile charge radius still way too much. A very strong card, hard to counter. Wizard, I feel like Wizard is very underrated. Pretty good card, good for splash, pushes, like golems, pushes. Golem's a very good card, so, especially with the recent Sneaky Golem stuff. Sneaky Golem isn't that good of a deck, but it's pretty good. And Golem is a very tanky card. Mini P.E.K.K.A is very good at taking out tanks. Very good card too. Spear Goblins, that's not too bad for chip. And they're very cheap. but they're not the best card, I feel like. Especially for defense, they can be zapped. Maybe if they can be zapped, I might put them in a higher tier, but yeah. Skelly Giant isn't that good of a card. It's pretty good. It's not a bad tank, but the fact that it goes for troops is not that great when you want it for towers mainly. And it's very good at clearing out troops, I feel like, because people not usually overspend and get their troops killed from the death bomb. Hog Ride is a very good card, especially in Hog cycle decks like Hog 2.6, Hog Earthquake, Hog Firecracker, etc. So I put that in best here because it's a pretty busted card. Minion Horde isn't that good, I feel like. Countered very easily by like every spell, most splash cards, and it's just a lot of elixir. Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard is a very good defensive card. Not that bad. Very good defense, very cheap. Royal Giant, very good card. Very healthy, like tanky. Difficult to take out. Its range is very great. And the moment in this meta is very good. Guards, very good defensive card, especially the shield stops spells. Princess, very good card too, and bait decks especially. It can be good defensive and for damage on the tower. Dark Prince is a card I don't use very much or see very much, but I don't think it's that bad. Maybe even underrated. I'd say it's a pretty good card, especially with the shield and the splash damage. Well, not as good as the Prince, I'd say, but still a very good card. Three Muskies isn't that great. Very expensive. Pretty good in some pump decks, but can be killed by most spells, I feel like. And gets countered by Fireball, etc. Ice Spirit's a very good cycle card. Can be good for stunning troops, good in Hog Cycle, good in most cycle decks. Very good card. Fire Spirit is a not that good card. It does a lot of damage, but you have to get it to the tower to do that, and it's not the one. I'd say it's one of the worst spirits. Miner is a very good card, very good for chip. It's like Miner cycle decks, Miner Wall Breaker, Miner Poison maybe. Pretty good card. Good for distraction too. Especially in Lava Hound Miner decks. Sparky isn't that great of a card. It can be pretty good, but any Electro card basically counters it. And small cards counter it too. Boulder is a pretty good card. I don't use it very much, but from what I've seen, especially seeing as Jinxie's been playing a lot recently in the graveyard decks, is pretty good. Lumberjack, very good card, especially the Rage, play it with something else, very good. Does a lot of damage very fast, usually gets hits. Battle Ram is something I don't play very often. I don't think it's that great of a card, and it can be pretty good in punishing decks, but I don't think it's that great. It can be countered pretty easily. Inferno Dragon, that's a very good defensive card. It does lack against Swarm and Electro cards, but it isn't that bad. And it can do great against E-Giant, etc. Ice Golem is a very good cycle card, very tanky and good for kiting. Can make mini pushes with like Musketeers, good with Hog Cycle. Pretty good card. Mega Minion. It's another card I don't play very often, but it's not bad. I put in average tier. Might even be a good tier card, rethinking about it, but still not that great. Dark Goblin's very good card. You can play it at the bridge, get a couple hundred damage if you're not fast enough. Very good defensive too. And yeah. What's that card? Goblin Gang. Very good. Well, not very good. Kind of good in bait decks. Usually in bait to pull out for goblin barrels and stuff, but it isn't that bad of a card. Well, Ewa's very good card against Inferno cards and good at stunning and keeping troops back. E-Barbs isn't that great of a card, very mid-ladder sort of card. It can be countered very easily, costs a lot of elixir, but it's not too bad. Hunter, I feel like, is a very good card, very good at countering a lot of troops. It might be a little slow sometimes, but isn't that bad. XC is another card I don't play very often. I don't think it's too great of a card, but it's not bad. It's very expensive is my main problem with it, but it is good at taking out a lot of pushes, especially against Balloon and Golem decks. Pretty good against Swarm too, like bait decks, etc. Bandit isn't that great of a card. I mean, it's pretty cheap, good in bridge spam decks, but not great of a card overall. I feel like it can be countered very easily with just a couple Swarm cards. Recruits is not too bad of a card, especially in recruit decks. Hard to deal with the split lane pressure sometimes. I'd say it's a pretty good card. Maybe a little expensive, but pretty good in certain decks. Night Witch isn't that great of a card, I feel like. It is very good against Mega Knight, and some tanks, its damage isn't that bad. But I feel like it's mainly used in Golem decks. Hoggies is not a bad card, especially in Hog, Earthquake, Archer Queen decks, etc. It works with recruits too, another split lane pressure card. Bats is a pretty good card too, cheap and good at taking out most cards, especially mini tanks. Royal Ghost is not too great, but its splash damage means you have to play cycle cards in very specific places to stop it cheaply, and it can usually get hits on the tower if you don't overspend elixir. Ram Rider is not a card I see too often, but it's very similar to Hog. I feel like it's not bad. Its little stun ability is actually pretty good, and it can be used defensively, so I'm gonna put it in best tier. I might have put it in good tier now rethinking it, but it isn't that bad of a card. It's pretty good. Zappies can be used in Royal Recruit decks. They're pretty good there. Good at defense and stunning troops, but they're not the greatest card. I feel like the elixirs are a little expensive, not too much. So it's average, not a bad card. Rascals is not a card I use or see often, and I do not think it's very good. I feel like it's too expensive, and the Rascals altogether don't do much damage. They're doing a rework on it soon, which might make it a lot better actually, especially as the Rascal Boy is going to be doing more damage. The cannon card before the rework where it changed from half health into a building is going in good, but after the rework it's going in average. I feel like it got a lot worse after that, and it's very good at dealing with a lot of cards, quite annoying to deal with too, because it's very tanky. Mega Knight is a pretty good card, not too busted I'd say, because it can be countered if you know how to play against it. There's a lot of counters to Mega Knight. Skeleton Barrel is a very good card in chip decks. Even if you spell it after it's fallen, still gets explosion damage on the tower. Very good card. Flying Machine is not a bad card. It can be pretty good in recruit decks, column decks. Its range is insane, which makes it a very good card. But the fact that it can be killed by Fireball and doesn't have that much health makes it kind of less desirable for me. But I still think it's a very good card, just because of its range mainly. Wall Breakers, they're not that great of a card, I feel like. This is not counting the evolution still, by the way. So I'd say average, because a lot of cycle cards can counter them. If you're fast enough, you can usually counter them pretty quickly. Not that great of cards, but they're not bad either, especially in minor decks. Goblin Giant, that's a pretty good card. Not too bad. I'd put it under average, like there's a lot of better tanks. It's kind of like Giant with just goblins on its back. I don't think it's too great. Fisherman is a very good defensive card, especially in Royal Giant decks. Can be good for King Tower activations. Good against a lot of cards, especially mini tanks. Magic Archer is, I kind of feel like it's underrated. I'm not sure though. It's a pretty good card. Good range, splash damage too, and it's only 4 elixir, which isn't too bad. I think it can be countered by Fireball. If it can, I feel like there's a small debuff to it, but not too bad. Electro Dragon isn't the best, I'd say, because it's very expensive. It can be good in tank decks like Golem or Lava Hound, but other than that, not a very good defensive card or attacking card by itself. Isn't bad, but not the greatest because of the cost. Firecracker is very overpowered, I feel like. Can be countered by spells easily, but it can also dodge out the way all the time, which makes it more annoying to deal with. And the amount of value it usually gets is very overpowered. Mighty Miner is a card I don't play too often, but it is not bad. It takes quite a bit of skill sometimes because you need to time the abilities and stuff. So I put it in good tier, especially because it's kind of like an Inferno card with its drill. That makes it pretty good. Elixir Golem is a very good card in my opinion. I still feel like it's a very toxic card. It can be countered easily if you are 100% focusing, but you look away for 2 seconds and E-Golem can be a very disgusting card to play against. Very cheap, but it can give you elixir back, but I still feel like because it's so cheap, it doesn't really matter. Lava Hound is a not bad card, by itself not great, but especially with a lot of big pushes like with E-Drag, Flying Machine, Inferno Dragon, other cards such as that, can be pretty good. Good for the minor decks too, because can tank for minor. Can be annoying. Battle Healer I don't think is a very good card. I don't see it too often, mainly in E-Golem decks, but other than that, not a great card, doesn't do too much damage, I feel like, and it costs 4 elixir, which I feel like is a little bit too expensive. Skeleton King is okay. I'd say there's most champions are better than it, but it's not a bad card. Its ability can be countered pretty easily though. Very tanky. Archer Queen is a very good hero because of her ability, especially. She can get a lot more value just from going into her ability. and especially trying to defend it when it's crossing the bridge, you usually have to spend more elixir than you like, and it can be good in Hoggy's decks. Golden Knight, especially after the rework, got much better, but I still wouldn't say it's a great card. Maybe against Swarm decks, but tank decks, I don't think it's too great against. It's not got bad health and damage, but other than that, I don't think it's worth it for the elixir. Monk, I would say, is a very good card, especially recently, because it's good at taking out a lot of range cards such as Archer Queen or Firecracker, and it's good against most spells, and it's pretty difficult to use if you're going for like Goblin Barrel deflections and Rocket deflections, and if you can manage to do that, it makes it a very good card. Skeleton Dragons, I feel like are okay, pretty good in Lava Hound decks, not too bad, but the Fireball value you can get against them makes it not too great, especially when you've got a lot of spells against it. I don't know if there was a recruit rework, because there's a second recruit in there, but yeah. Mother Witch, only really good against Swarm decks. Its damage is okay, but without any Swarm cards to fight against, it is kind of a wasted card. Sorry, I misclick here. I did the tier list before the audio recording. I was meant to mention that earlier. E-Spirit isn't too bad. E-Spirit can chain a lot of cards. Is a very, very good cycle card, I feel like. You can get a lot of value just from one elixir, especially against minions and flying cards. Electro Giant, that card is also pretty good. It's actually very good. There aren't many counters to Electro Giant. Inferno maybe, but if you have Inferno Dragon against it, if they have Tornado, that immediately stops it. And the only good counter I'd say is really Inferno Tower. So it's a very good card, kills a lot of Swarm. Anything around it really does a ton of damage. Phoenix, a card I don't use too often. I've watched Ken play it a few times in his Lumberloon deck. It can be pretty good, does a ton of damage, but because it's so slow, I don't know if it's too great. And it takes a while for it to revive when it's in the egg. Little Prince isn't too great of a card. Isn't too bad either, because pretty good defensive capabilities. Can take out a lot with its faster shooting and its Guardian coming back after it dies. That can help. Doesn't come back after it dies, but it can. Cannon is very good defensive card. Very cheap. Good at defending hogs, ram riders, etc. And it's just a pretty good card in general. Goblin Hut, I'm going to say this is the reworked Goblin Hut that's 4 elixir and spawns goblins when things are near it. That Goblin Hut, the reworked one, is very good, especially much better. I would probably put the before Goblin Hut, how it is at 5 elixir in average, and the reworked at good. It's very good at defending pushes and can stop your enemy from pushing, especially if you are down on elixir. Can be good with Mortar and Expo decks too. And Mortar is a very good card, cheap, and very good defensive and offensively. And it's just a pretty good card in general. Inferno Tower is not a bad card, not too great. It costs a lot of elixir, bad against swarm cards. It is very good against specific decks such as tank decks, but I'd put it in average tier. Bomb Tower is kind of like the opposite of Inferno Tower, good against swarm, bad against tanks. It's not got as much health, I don't think, but it does release a bomb afterwards, which can also help with swarm. I wouldn't say it's a great card though, but in the same tier as Inferno Tower. Barb Hut is not a great card. I think it's 6 elixir now, maybe. Could be wrong, but it's still not too great. Spawning 3 barbs I don't feel like is very much value, and it can be destroyed easily by spells. Tesla's a very good defensive card, especially in Expo and Mortar decks. It can help a lot against flying cards like Balloon, and Expo now is a very, very good card, I feel like. Maybe not too much in the new meta, because there's a lot of decks that people are playing that are very good against Expo, I feel like. But Expo is not a bad card. Very hard to deal with. Pump is not too great of a card, very bad against spell decks, but can be good if used right, especially in decks with 3 muskies, elite barbs, etc. Tombstone is not too great, I feel like. Can counter cards like pretty well, but I feel like it's in very specific decks only and can't be used too well, can be spelled too easily. Furnace is a very annoying card, but not too great at the same time. Its fire spirits can be hard to deal with if you don't have the right cards or stuff in hand, and it's kind of on the same tier as Tombstone, I feel like. Goblin Cage I feel like is similar to them too, because of the goblin it spawns, obviously. And I'd say it's not too great against Hog, Ramrod, etc. It's not too bad, but like without support, they can usually get a hit. And Goblin Cage isn't too bad, maybe in recruit decks. Goblin Drill, very good card in chip decks, like minor decks. Because even if no goblins get a stab, each drill does a bit of damage as it comes up. Fireball's a very, very good defensive card, can kill many other cards to destroy buildings, take out pushes, very good. Same with arrows, it's good against swarm more, like swarm decks, many pushes it can support. Rage is a pretty good spell too, cheap. It can work well against baits, and it can be good for offense too. Rocket Eye, personally, don't feel like is too good of a card, but it's not bad. I think it's just slightly too expensive, and usually after you've used it, unless you've used it to kill an entire push, you're still gonna be down elixir. That was a misclick on the Phoenix, by the way. And Goblin Barrel is not too bad of a card, good in bait decks, very annoying to deal with if you don't have the right cards in hand, can be outcycled by it. But unless you're playing like 3 spells, very difficult to deal with in bait decks. Freeze is a very good card in my opinion, very underrated. It can be good for defense and offense, stalling at the end of a game after you've taken a tower, and good for offense to surprise your opponent and get a bunch more damage on their tower. Mirror, I don't think is too great of a card because it increases the price of the card you're mirroring. Can't be used with champions and just makes your deck kind of clunky, I feel like. Not too great of a card. Can be good in certain situations, maybe Giant Skeleton Clone. Lightning's a very good card, both for defense and offense. You can kill a bunch of cards attacking like your Royal Giant, or you can defend big golem pushes, killing a bunch of the support for your golem, for their golem or lava hand. Also, it stuns. Zap also is a very good defensive card, kind of like Rage. It it stalls cards slightly, kills a lot of swarm. I feel like Rage is better though. Poison is a very good defensive card. You can play it with graveyard poison, minor poison decks. Does good chip against towers and is very good for defense as it slows cards down too. Tombstone, no, not Tombstone, Graveyard, I feel like isn't too bad of a card. It's very expensive and you have to use it in the right situations, usually with a tank. And I feel like people are playing a lot more just because of Jinxie playing recently with that deck, but it is pretty good, not too good. Log is a very good defensive card. Pushes stuff back, only 2 elixir, wipes out swarm, good against bait. Many different things it can be used for. It's good against most decks. Even just pushing back tank decks slightly. Tornado is also not a bad defensive card. Also good for offense, like in E-Giant decks, Electro Giant decks. Can pull in Inferno cards. It's good for defense, pulling stuff to King Tower, pulling stuff away from your tower, pulling stuff together for spells. Not a bad card. Clone is a okay card, not too good, used in very specific decks, maybe Lava Hand decks, Skeleton Giant decks, but it can be pretty good to surprise opponents suddenly getting a bunch more damage or boosting something to the tower, but other than that, I don't think it's too great of a card. Earthquake is a very good card, especially in Hoggy's decks, Hog decks too. It's good for slowing down cards, destroying buildings. It can be good for defense too, slowing down the cards. Barbell, pretty good card, kind of like the Log, but I'd say Log is better. Barbell doesn't push back and it has a smaller radius, but the Barb can help in certain decks as it can be like more tank and it can help against mini tanks better. Still good for clearing out swarm cards and bait decks. Heal Spirit, I feel like isn't too good of a spirit or a card in general. 1 elixir makes it kind of better, but I feel like it doesn't do much damage, and the healing, if it misses all your cards, then you're not going to get any healing out of it. So it can be used in very specific situations and decks. I would prefer many other spirits other than this one. Giant Snowball is a pretty good card. Can be used well against bait decks, good for slowing cards down, pushing them apart, pushing into other lanes too, pushing princesses across bridges. It's just an overall good card. Royal Delivery, I don't see it too often, maybe in a couple decks like Archer Queen Huggies decks, but it is a very good defensive card. It's good at clearing out Swarm. I'm pretty sure it can hit Air too. And it's a very good card for clearing out stuff. The only problem I feel like is that it's mainly used for defense, and the recruit can be maybe annoying if it survives and crosses the bridge with a shield, but other than that, I don't think it's too great. Now on to the evolutions. I will be doing the other evolutions that aren't here afterwards. Evo Barbs is, yeah, it's pretty average. Like the Barbs, just gets rage when they hit stuff. Not too great, not too bad. Evo Royal Giant is pretty good, just like the Royal Giant but better. Not a bad card, especially with the knockback. It can just take out Swarm decks, any Swarm counters gone that are on the ground, but it's not too great. I guess it allows the Royal Giant a couple more hits always, which is pretty good, but not great of an evolution really. Evo Firecracker, just like the Firecracker but better. I think it can activate King Tower more easily, but other than that, it just does more damage against everything. And can be very annoying to play against. Evo Skellies is not bad. They've been nerfed a few times, made them quite a bit worse, but overall they aren't too bad. Misclicked the P.E.K.K.A there. They can be very good against tanks if they don't have spells to clear them. Overall not that bad. Evo Knight is a very good card. It can tank so much damage, way more than the regular Knight. Can be very good in hog decks. It's just an overall good card. Evo Mortar, just like the Mortar, throws goblins around, which can be way more annoying, do more damage. Can be good for defense and offense. Not a bad card. Evo Bats, they're kind of weird. They sometimes don't get much value because of spells, but I'm pretty sure they can survive zaps, which is very good if it can do that. They can be very annoying if there's tanks for them, kind of difficult to deal with sometimes, and they're just better than the bats. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but they're not bad either. Evo Archers, not bad card, very good at defense, can decimate most pushes, can be spelled quite easily, but other than that, very good card, do a lot of damage to towers too if they can get to them. Evo Ice Spirit, just the Ice Spirit, but more freeze. It's gonna get another debuff, I'm pretty sure soon, which is gonna make it worse, but still a pretty good card. Evo Recruits, pretty good card, very good at taking out buildings. I feel like if they can get the charges off, and just better than Recruits. Now I'm gonna go to my account to cover the rest of the evolutions and cards that haven't been in this tier list. I won't be doing the super cards because I don't know too much about them. Here I was just looking for a way to see evolutions easier, but I couldn't find it, so I just went through each of them in the dex part. Lumberjack, Evo Lumberjack, very good card. Extremely good for anything really. The Invincible Ghost, just a very good evolution in general. Evo Inferno Dragon is a very good card too. Unless you're against any of that cards, it's just decimates everything. It's very tedious to do. Evo E-Drag is very good too. Very good with its chain in Lava Hounds and Golem decks. It can do tons of value if it isn't dealt with quickly. Pretty good card. This Evo Zap is a very good card too. It's just better than the Zap. Zap's more than once, twice. Bomber, very good card too. Evo, it just bounces, makes it better. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get 2 bounces on the tower in certain situations anymore, which makes it worse, but it isn't that bad. Evo's Giant Snowball, very good card. Can just completely push back pushes or help with offense in expo decks. Evo Cannon, very good card. All the nukes that come down, very good for defense. You can use it right. Tesla, Evo Tesla's a very good one too. Helps with Inferno cards because of the Zap and Swarm. Evo Dark Goblin is an insane evolution in my opinion. With its ability to take down entire pushes by itself. Evo Musket is a very good card. Just snipe from the back of the map, take out cards easily, very good. Evo Battleline, I feel like it's okay. Still can be countered pretty easily with like stun cards, buildings, but if it can get to the tower it does tons of damage. And releases Evo Barbs. Evo Valkyrie, very good card. Very good for defense and offense, pulling cards in. Wizard, Evo Wizard is okay. It's a shield, not too bad. Evo Wall Breakers, they're pretty good. They're just better than the regular ones. I'll put them 2 above the regular. Evo Goblin Barrel, pretty good. Gets an extra barrel. Decoys in it. It was better after that you didn't know the decoys though. Evo Hunter's a pretty good card. Stops entire tanks. Evo Goblin Drill very good for more chip because it just comes out 3 times. Quite annoying to deal with sometimes. Evo Witch is a very good card too. Getting another debuff might be more balanced after that. Still very difficult to deal with sometimes. Execution of Evo is very good for taking pushes, especially Lava Hound. Piece up cards very well. Evo Goblin Jar is a very good card too. It spawns out goblins, it can be quite annoying sometimes. Evo P.E.K.K.A, it's not that good. Heals when it gets kills, but lasts too much longer. It depends on how much time you can get it for. Evo Mega Knight, I feel like it's better than the Mega Knight. This card's back. It's pretty good Evo. Annoying to deal with sometimes, but at the same time can be countered easily still with buildings and stuff. Goblinstein is a pretty good card. Not too bad. Especially got worse though after all the debuffs, but it can still get a lot of value. Boss Bandit, very overpowered right now. Maybe it won't be after the huge debuffs, but right now it's very overpowered in good spam decks. Goblin Machine is an okay card, I wouldn't say it's too great. You can get a couple hits with its rocket, but I don't feel like it's worth it. Not too great. Ring Giant is an okay card, especially after the debuffs that we got by us. It's okay, it can be good in very specific decks, but overall not a great card. Void, I'm pretty sure I get rewarded or something. It's okay, not a good card, I don't see it very often, but it's not that bad. Goblin Curse, personal favourite, very good card. Especially after seeing Ken use it a lot. It's good for the damage amplification, so it's not just good against Swarm. And it's a pretty good card. I'd put it in best tier. and Demolisher, not too good of a card. I feel like it's kind of like, what is it, Rule Breakers and Suspicious Bush can be very good in Grudge spam decks. It's annoying to deal with, have to spell it. Tesla can't deal with it either. Not a bad card, does a lot of damage too. No, there's still Berserker. Berserker's a very bad card, bottom tier. 2 elixir, but still is just trash. Doesn't do enough, in my opinion. Not enough damage, not enough health. It's just an underground card. And that's the end.